Your Eminence, it is my honor to present to you the Warrior of Light.
I have heard the tales of your many grand endeavors. The Lord Commander has also been most effusive in his praise. I am Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, and I bade you come here that I might offer my personal apologies. You will forgive me for not calling upon you as courtesy would dictate, but as you can see, my more sprightly days are long behind me. But I digress. Your companions were wrongly accused of heresy and subjected to gross indignities. This, I am sorry to say, was the result of negligence on the part of our nation's protectors. Negligence born of an excess of zeal. Is that not so, Sir Zephyrin?
Yes, Your Eminence. Regrettably, it would appear that we of the Heavens Ward were in receipt of erroneous information. Sir Grinno has ever been headstrong. He pressed charges before the truth had been ascertained, for which I most sincerely apologize.
An unfortunate misunderstanding born of an earnest desire to serve Ishgard, but one which should never have occurred. For who could doubt the character of those who bested Shiva and drove the Horde from the steps of faith? Not I. That much is certain. That will be all, Sir Zephyrin. I would speak with our guest in private.
Your Eminence, As you wish, Your Eminence. That will be all for today.
Privacy is a luxury rarely afforded one in my position. Now, tell me, young man, what do you know of the Asians? Much and more, I shouldn't wonder, being the bringer of light. You should know that I myself have met with them, have entertained them as guests, even. Those harbingers of chaos and strife offered us power that we might continue our war against the dragons. I have no intention of aiding their cause, of course, nor less of being their puppet. Yet, were I to refuse them outright, I should learn naught of their true objectives and remain powerless to stop them. Thus have I hearkened to their words with interest and paid lip service to their beliefs, biding my time and preparing for the inevitable conflict. And why do I tell you this? Because there is naught in this world they fear more than the power of the Warrior of Light. If we are to rid ourselves of these vile interlopers, we must needs work together. With our combined strength, I have faith that we can wrest Eorzea from their grasp and pave the way for a lasting peace. Think on it.
And there I was explaining exactly what we did last time in Final Fantasy XIV when I realized that my headset wasn't plugged in. 10 points. Welcome, Master Flameborne. Shall I show you inside the manor?
There you are. I confess, I was more than a little concerned when I learned that you had been summoned to the vault. What did they want with you? Well, well. A formal apology and an admonishment of those responsible. I see my fears were wholly misplaced. By the gods! The Archbishop freely admits to consorting with Ascians. We will have new primals to contend with ere long, of that you may be certain. 'Tis but a matter of time. Yet shorn of the support of our missing allies, what can we realistically hope to achieve?
In the midst of all the excitement, I completely forgot to tell you. When I was asking around about the Scions, I heard the most awful rumor. General Raubern is to be executed for crimes against the Sultanate!
If the Flame General dies, we will lose a staunch ally, and the one man capable of holding the Sultana's assassins to account. Lord Orchiphon was wise to counsel restraint, but this business will brook no delay. We cannot permit this execution to take place. We must save Raubern.
Friends, 'tis good to see you safe and well. I will admit I had not counted on you seeking, let alone finding refuge within the Holy See, but full glad was I to learn that you had.
Thankfully, we had allies there who took us under their wing. And theirs was not the only aid we receive, I suspect. When we fled Uldar, we fully expected to become wanted men, known to all and hounded at every turn. Yet that did not come to pass. On the contrary, 'twould seem the charges against us have not been made public. Might we have you to thank for that, Admiral?
Sharp as ever, Master Alphino. On Marshal Terrapin's urging, the Elder Seed Seer and I demanded that the Syndicate suppress news of the Scion's alleged crimes until such time as irrefutable evidence could be found. Our argument was simple. Lacking proof, to accuse the saviors of the realm of so unlikely a crime would have the people up in arms. In their wisdom, the Syndicate agreed, as you yourself have seen. There is something you should know. Some few days prior to the banquet, the Elder Seedseer and I were summoned for a private audience with the Sultana. There, she revealed her intent to announce her abdication, that she might pave the way for the establishment of an Uldan Republic.
What? But such an announcement would have plunged the entire nation into chaos.
She was well aware of that. 'Twas for fear of what might ensue that she summoned us. Her Grace wanted the Elder Seedseer and I to lend Rauban a helping hand, you see? To aid him in preserving the peace during the transition.
So, having somehow caught wind of her plan, Lolorito and Teleji plotted the Sultana's assassination in the hope of maintaining the constitutional status quo. But they must have known that her death would sow as much chaos as her abdication. Chaos from which Teleji alone might feasibly stand to profit. Surely Lolorito would never knowingly... Ah, could it be? I dare not hope.
The Uldan authorities have yet to announce the Sultana's passing. To allay any suspicion that may arise from Her Grace's absence, they have issued a statement to the effect that she is presently convalescing from illness.
Mayhap they're waiting for a fitting moment to break the news, or mayhap they know of some other reason to delay.
Something else has been bothering me, Admiral. I was dismayed to learn that General Rauban is to be executed. Yet upon hearing the news, I could not help but wonder why he had been kept alive for so long. Pray mistake not my meaning. I am, of course, overjoyed that our friend still draws breath, and that he might yet be saved. But if his enemies truly wished to eliminate him, they could have done so immediately. I see no reason for this delay.
Aye, you've struck upon an important point, Master Alphino. Following his capture, Rauban had been held in the Marasaja pit within Uldar. In recent days, however, he has reportedly been moved to an unknown location. Queerly, 'twas not the brass blades who spirited him away either, but a band of soldiers decked in blue.
The Crystal Braves.
Aye. If I read the winds aright, the arrangement between Lord Lolorito and the Braves has come under strain. At any rate, if we're to rescue Rauban, we'll have to find him first. And you'll be glad to hear that I have already entrusted the task to those best able to see it done. Our friends of Doma.
Rauban's survival is vital to the Eosin Alliance. We can ill afford to lose him. But I cannot send troops into Uldar. It would spell the end of the Alliance in war like as not. If there is to be a rescue, it falls to you and yours to attempt it. I would not have it any other way, Admiral. It was I who founded the Crystal Braves, and I who must take responsibility for their actions. Spoken like a true leader, Master Alphino. By way of a first step, you should seek out our German contact. You'll find her among the frontier hands at Revenant's Toll, working in the kitchen. Nope, that's empty house. That you were safe, but to see you again in the flesh. Words cannot well express my relief. Even as the victory feast was taking place, the crystal graves turned upon us and took the rising stones by force. Amid the chaos, a few of my compatriots now were able to slip away unnoticed. Since then, we have remained in Revenant's Toll, keeping watch over the mutineers while awaiting your return. You've done well by us, and we Germans do not soon forget our debts. We swear to do all within our power to aid you. Shortly before you arrived, I received word from Limsa that you were searching for General Raubach. As the Admiral will have informed you, he was recently moved from his cell in the Marasata pit. At the same juncture, you and Hase, the 3rd unit, were observed leaving the Rising Stones. This can be no simple coincidence. Their purpose, we believe, is to escort the Flame General to the scene of his execution. Suffice it to say, we have people shadowing the 3rd. If you will join the hunt, pray seek out Deware at Highbridge, where I too will be. That'll land then. Expecting you. Time is of the essence, so I shall be direct. Hase and his men are bound for Halatali. We believe that this is where they intend to carry out the execution. Bosan is currently keeping watch over the entrance. Let us make haste and join him. Let us make haste indeed. have come at a good time, my friends. But moments ago, the traitor Ilbert arrived and entered Halatali. From this we may be certain that General Raban is being held within. There's no time to lose. General Alden may be executed at any moment. You must enter Halatali and free him from his captors. Please see to your preparations and tell me when you are ready to proceed. One of our own will accompany you inside.
Pray, forgive me my lateness.
Lady Ugiri!
Master Alphonal, I am pleased to see that the light of resolve shines in your eyes once more.
Ah, yes. How pathetic I must have seemed to you when we last met. I am ashamed to record it. For a time I was well and truly lost. But with the aid of my comrades, I have since refound my purpose, and I shall take care not to misplace it again.
Since your escape from Ulda, my fellow shinobi and I have shadowed the Crystal Braves every step, in hopes of learning the Scion's whereabouts. Regrettably, our investigation has yet to yield any useful information. Pray, forgive us.
You need not apologize, my lady. We are grateful for all that you have done on our behalf. Besides, Ralban is no less a friend, and we cannot well abandon him to his fate.
Hozan, the three of us shall attend to the Flame General's rescue. Pray, draw away the guards by the entrance. Take Dowade and Higiri with you. With me!
Away with you!
Leave this to me.
General! Not be necessary. Try to not take it personally, my friends. You are the victims of harsh economic conditions. Happily, you will not suffer for long. This poison will convey you swiftly under the bosom of Thar, where I hope to join you after the passing of many prosperous years. Come on. You gotta tell me twice. Slowly, General. You're yet weak from your ordeal. Nevertheless, we must quit this place. I should have known. What are clever contrivances to the warrior of life? Well done, hero. Ilbert! You mean to struggle on, then? Very well. If you would stand in my way, I will cut you down like all the rest. Come, Scions! Let's get this over with!
It is nothing.
Not finished yet.
I'll tear you limb from limb.
A lot of good that did you.
This changes nothing.
It is over, Ilbert. Lay down your arms and surrender yourself to justice.
Justice? Justice for what exactly? 'Twas not I who assassinated the Sultana, boy.
Ere we debate who is responsible for the assassination, I would ask whether an assassination took place at all.
Oh, clever little shite. If you think you fight for justice, lad, you'd best wake up. The truth is, you fight for whoever bloody well tells you to. Can you not see you're being used? By the Scions, the City-States, even the Crystal Braves? They none of them care a whit what you want. Only what you can do for them. And how do I know this? Because I'm the same. A pawn to be used as my masters see fit. All I ever wanted was to liberate my homeland. And I ate dirt to make it happen. But what have I achieved after all these years in servitude? Nothing. Not a bloody thing. If we ourselves are not free to think and to act, how are we ever to reclaim our homeland? Know this. There is nothing I would not give to take back Alamigo. Nothing!
You'll not get away!
No, Master Alphino. Now is not the time.
I'm but a cripple and a fool. And still you came for me. And when you're dead.
We are all of us fools of fate, General. But even fools have a part to play.
Rest assured, I was not planning to die till I'd avenged the Sultana. Still, your words are welcome, lad. Know this, Ilberd. There is nothing I would not give to see you pay for what you've done. My wealth, my arm, my life. Nothing.
General, are you aware that Lord Olorito has yet to announce the Sultana's death to the public?
What? No. No, I was not aware of that, nor of anything else outside my cell. 'Tis passing strange, though. I assumed the bastard would make it known at the first opportunity, and set about tearing down the Sultanate.
As did we all. And it is indeed strange that he did not. Strange, or perhaps revealing. Now, I have no conclusive proof, nor do I wish to give you false hope, but I have reason to believe that Her Grace may yet live.
What? But how can that be?
Forgive me, friends, but it is not safe here. Let us continue this conversation without...
The General is safe. What news without? My lady, the guards have been subdued as per your command. They have since kept watch over the entrance. There has been no further activity. Then Ilberd and his minions have fled via some other egress. Scour the perimeter for signs of their passing. At once, my lady. General Aldin, I presume, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Who are you? Identify yourself. Pray, do not be alarmed. My mistress is a friend, and I come bearing a message of goodwill. For your own safety, she bade me direct you to the Waking Sands. Know that Master Urianger awaits you there, along with others sympathetic to your cause. This is no ruse, I assure you. General Aldin, you will come with me. I have prepared a carriage that will travel in comfort and safe from prying eyes. That was almost bad. I have spoken with Urianger via Linkpo. He confirms the man's story. Our barn is in safe hands. Let us make our own way to Vesper Bay.
My dearest friends, praise be unto the 12 for delivering you from the clutches of treachery.
Father!
Pippin! My son! And Master Papashan besides!
Forgive me, Father. I should have been at Her Grace's side.
Save your tears. The Sultana yet lives.
You!
It was I who arranged this gathering. And judging by your perplexed expressions, it would seem introductions are in order. I am Dulala, head of the Order of Noldthal, and member of the Syndicate.
What you said about the Sultana, is it true? Is she alive?
Young man, I understand you were with the Sultana when she drank from the poisoned goblet and collapsed. Would I be correct in assuming that you did not personally verify Her Grace's vital signs?
Why ask when 'tis plain you know the answer?
Calm yourself, General, and let me finish. The truth is not as you imagine it. You are all victims of a most ingenious ruse. A ruse conceived to eliminate the threat posed by Teleji Adeleji. 'Tis my belief that Teleji plotted the Sultana's assassination alone, but that Lolorito caught wind of his plot and exploited it to his own ends. He sought to manipulate you into eliminating Teleji for him, and you duly obliged. At one fell swoop, he removed his two foremost rivals, all the while remaining above suspicion.
God strike me down for a fool. But the Sultana, how can it be that she lives?
She lives because Lolorito willed it. Her own lady-in-waiting is but one of his many little birds. By her sleight of hand, the poison was switched for a less deadly draught before it could reach her mistress's lips.
Some manner of sedative, perchance? of a potency sufficient to induce a slumber like unto death.
Were I to guess, I would say her grace is being held somewhere, dreaming dreams of a brighter Uldar, even as we speak.
Oh, Nanamo. I will never forgive Lolorito for his part in this.
Though Lolorito's hands are far from clean, they did pluck her grace from the jaws of death. That must count for something. And though one may call the man's methods into question, it cannot be denied that he knows the value of stability, to the very gill, like as not. He craves power, 'tis true, but he has no desire to depose the Sultana. I had never taken sides in your feud with the monetarists, but it was not for want of concern for our nation's welfare. Indeed, 'twas out of the desire to see order restored that I furnished your Far Eastern friends with information, and arranged this gathering. I hope you are ready to work, General, for there is much work to be done. Our first priority must be to bring matters back into balance. Lest you forget Her Grace's words, the true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. As for the more worldly kind of wealth, I am content to let Lolorito help himself to whatever Teleji Adeleji left behind. You, meanwhile, must do that which you alone can do. Rescue Her Grace and take your place at her side once more, for her sake and that of our nation.
My suspicions regarding the Sultana proved more prescient. I have no idea how to pronounce that word. Much remains to be done, but in rescuing Raban, we have taken a vital first step towards resolving matters in Uldar. We couldn't have done it without you, Vakama. Thank you. Yes, General Raban is saying that. What? Another assault? Very well. We shall return at once. Pray notify the Count for our coming. It would seem we face another crisis. The Dravanians are preparing to resume their siege of the Holy See. Though I'm loath to abandon the Sultana to her fate, we lack the necessary evidence to act upon Drevana's claims. That being the case, I propose we leave Marshal Tarapin and the others to investigate and return with all haste to Ishgard. For cutting your reunion with General Raban short. I wouldn't have bothered you, but this is a wash with rumors of another Dravanian attack. Lord Oshifon was desperate to get a hold of you. The others are waiting for you inside, so we better head in. Okay, maybe not yet. My friend, I thank you for answering our calls with such alacrity. As I'm sure you are aware, the Javanians are once more gathering for war. Master Flameborne, Master Labayur, I must apologize for this abrupt summons, but we thought it best to have Mistress Tataru contact you by the most direct means available. When the observatorium's bells toll, this is a warning that cannot be ignored. The Holy See has ordered that we make ready for battle. In case you haven't heard, a band of trappers returning from the west claim they saw a cloud of dragons big enough to dim the midday sky. Nidhogg's minions gather once more for war. But I would not have you take up arms in another of our conflicts. When first you came to Ishgard, I offered you my protection. If I cannot ensure your safety here, I cannot well accept your aid, much less ask for it. Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are faced with a choice. To remain in a besieged Ishgard, or seek sanctuary elsewhere. I would not presume to influence your decision, but I must ask that you make it swiftly, lest our enemies force your hand. Though we flee to the ends of the world, 'twould seem that no place in this troubled age is free of strife. Once more the horde descends upon Ishgard, and once more her weary defenders must take up spear and bow. The Count would have us seek shelter from this storm, but I, for one, grow tired of running. If we are to shine the light of dawn, we must do so in the sight of our fellow man, not hunkered in a hole. What say you, Vakama? Then fight we shall. Let it never be said that we abandoned our allies in their hour of need. The choice we make this day may have grave implications for our order. It is only right that Tataru should have a say. Come, let us all meet outside and discuss the path that lies before us.
Ishgard cannot well endure another assault. Even should her knights succeed in turning back the horde, the casualties will be catastrophic.
But what other choice do we have? It's not like we can talk it over with them. Dragons and men aren't exactly on speaking terms.
With certain notable exceptions.
You don't mean Iceheart?
When last you spoke with her, she lamented her crimes, did she not? Then there remains a sliver of hope. If we can persuade Iceheart to act as our intermediary, we may yet be able to convince Nidhogg to abandon his bloody course.
If there is to be a meeting, I would accompany you.
Estinian.
Even with your intermediary, Nidhogg's blood rage may render him deaf to reason. However, the mere attempt may afford our forces precious time to prepare. Of course, you might also consider a more direct approach to ending this conflict. With the power of the Eye at my disposal, and the vaunted strength of the Warrior of Light, we could conceivably slay the beast outright.
If we are to risk a face-to-face meeting with the Dread Worm, I for one would feel safer in the company of the Azure Dragoon. However, I should only turn to your lance if my words failed to find their mark. Is that clear?
Perfectly. I shall assume that Isart enjoys similar diplomatic protection until instructed otherwise. A word of advice. Think carefully before divulging the particulars of this plan to Sir Emeric. 'Twould not do to have the Lord Commander accused of consorting with heretics.
Indeed. I thank you for your counsel, Estinian. We shall be honored to have you with us.
I am glad to be of service.
We have chosen a difficult road, yet even should we succeed in winning Isart to our cause, our plans for parley will swiftly come to naught should the Holy See decide to strike first against the Horde. We must petition the Lord Commander's aid ere we set forth. I only hope that Sir Emeric will be willing to muzzle Ishgard's forces on the strength of our vague assurances. Tataru, I would ask that you remain at Forton Manor and inform the Count of our decision. Tell him that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn mean to do all in their power to ensure that Ishgard and her people survive. Yes, sir! Make it quick.
I want the defenses of the Outer Ward rechecked. See to it that the ballistas are in good repair and supplied with enough ammunition for a prolonged siege.
At once, my lord.
Ah, 'twould seem I have visitors. And unlike those messing beyond our walls, these ones are welcome.
Pray forgive us for interrupting you in the midst of your preparations, Sir Emeric, but our suit concerns the impending assault. To speak plain, we believe there is a chance the invasion might be halted before it even begins. I can divulge little more at this time, but I must nevertheless request that you advise the Holy See to refrain from launching any preemptive sorties whilst we seek to put our plans in motion.
I will gladly lend my support to any endeavor that could spare the blood of my countrymen, but I would know more of the cause you would have me champion. Will you not share aught of this mysterious undertaking?
Know that I have offered my lance to aid in this endeavor. I cannot claim that its success is assured, but our actions should serve to delay Nidhogg's advance at the very least. Which is more than can be said for the ill-conceived counterattack advocated by the Sea's more vocal crusaders. They offer glorious death, but little hope of victory.
Aye, their proposal does not inspire confidence. Our resources should rightly be spent shoring up the city's defenses. The Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light sallying forth together to face the dread worm Nidhogg. I must admit the mere thought of it does much to dispel my misgivings. Go then, carry out your plan. I shall do what I can for you within the Holy See.
Having secured Sir Emeric's support, we may proceed without fear of a preemptive Ishgardian attack. Which is not to say we can fall together. History tells us that the Kavanians will attack as soon as their horde reaches a critical size. If Before that happens, we must each track down and win over the Lady Iceheart. Locate and parley. In short, time is against us. We are ready to
Such commotion.
Yes, Your Eminence. The bells of the Observatorium warn of our enemy's approach.
So, the dragons are coming. Let them come, in their hundreds and their thousands. With the divine blade in our hands, we shall rend their flesh and drown the heretics in their master's blood. Even Nidhogg and his foul brood shall be powerless to resist us. And when we have rid the world of their pestilence, we shall turn our attention to our Ascian allies. See that they are suitably rewarded for their invaluable assistance.
If I may, Your Eminence, the Paragons wield powers strange and unknowable. Can we be certain that they will not see through our deception?
We can be certain of naught save the righteousness of our cause. If you would be a true leader of men, you must possess conviction as well as caution. We seek to excise the root of an evil that has blighted us for 1,000 years. The risk is worth the reward.
And what of Estinian and this Warrior of Light? They have plans of their own.
Leave them to their purpose. We must each play the role we have been given. You and your chosen brothers most of all.
For the glory of King Thordan.
Is set for Taru. There may be some time before Vakama and I return to Ishgard. Well, just you be careful, all right? No, don't worry about me. I'll be busy listening out for news of our lost friends. If anyone can find them, it is you, Taru. Farewell for now. Oh, before you go, you must put this on, Alphino. I made it specially. Possibly. Very well. By the 12. It fits perfectly. The quality is actually rather good. glad you like it. I've been practicing my needlework while I listen to the rumors and the like. A good receptionist is always learning new skills. My thanks, Tataru. Whatever else awaits me upon the road, I shall not fear the cold. It was the least I could do. Now, I must be getting back to the tavern, or I'll never catch up with all the gossip. Best of luck on your journey! findings, you say? Well, there is something to tell there. No sooner had we chanced upon a promising-looking sheaf of letters than we were ambushed by the shadows of great white bears. It would seem the heretics foresaw our coming and had pets to discourage further investigation. Several of our number were badly wounded. To carry out their duties to tell the creatures are slain. We have no time to wait for reinforcements. Let us deal with these pets ourselves. Forgive me. Until my hands stop shaking, I fear I shall prove more evidence than help. We go on ahead. We will search for the rest of these dames have been slain, as by the exhibition of the centuries. We are not the luxury of perusing the contents more closely, intent as we were on surviving the onslaught of friendly claw. But I wager those epistles contain more than friendly salutations against the heretics. My interrogation of the patrol proved fruitless. Either we divine some clue from these letters, or we wander the snowfields and pray that the gods lead us right to Isart's door. 'Tis hardly a choice at all. We now have more than a dozen letters. Can we hear them? Every one of these pages is a record of the dealings betwixt the Gorgani Mills heretics and their fellows at Vakama Amphitheater. Requests of studies clothing, yet inhabit them. Aetherite would only be temporarily visible, but given that the heretics of Gorgani Mills seem to have been in regular contact with their brethren at the amphitheater, I'll wager it still functions. I suggest we make for the Aetheryte within Snowcloak without delay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Estilian, but in the course of mapping the Snowcloak tunnel system, a passage was discovered leading out into the Western Highlands, was it not? Might it be possible for us to reach the Aetheryte from this side of the wall? It should. House Durandare posted soldiers in the Western Highlands entrance after the tunnels were cleared, but they will not deny us entry. Okay, there I go. Are not like to rejoice at the appearance of uninvited guests, particularly one who lies. Of Ishgard. It's not enough to compare us our beloved saints. We don't be satisfied until we ice and slick the last drops of our blood. Stay your weapons, become under the flag of Parliament. Wish I was escaping the mistress and our peace. Do you think us fools, boy? It'll take more than honeyed words to earn our trust. You walk with the Dragon Slayer, and we know all too well what he is capable of. Come, brothers! May dragon wings bear us to victory! fight like demons. 'Tis death to remain. Fall back, brothers. Retreat to the cinders. I see no sign of Lady Iceheart, though we could have questioned one of them. What would you ask that we do not already know? They make for the cinders, and so must we. Even should an ambush await us, it's certain there will be more heretics to question. The cinders, you say? I confess the name is unknown to me. Mayhap you be so good as to enlighten us, Estinian? I suspect it is the heretic's way of referring to the Dreaming Dragon, an island of sorts found in the midst of a frozen lake of Ashpool. Some 500 years past, it is told that the Azure Dragoon with the age fought a dragon of titanic proportions. After the savage struggle, the mighty creature was weakened under the blood of death, and forced into a magic slumber by the entire chapter of the Missing Sorcerers. Ere long, a rain of ashes cinders did begin to fall upon the sleeping serpent's motionless wall, covering the creature at length in a shroud of grey. The course of the glare of ice has since formed on top of it, and you may be sure it's not true. A fascinating tale. We should make haste to this ashen isle. The Dreaming Dragon lies far to the west. If we approach the frozen beast, however, there is another place. Before we approach the frozen beast, however, there is another place I will visit first. I am told the convictors have set up camp in Twin Pools. Their leader, Chantalo, may have information of use to us. And mayhap you are not familiar with that name either. The convictors were dragon slayers, after a fashion. But I am willing to wager that they encounter their fair share of heretics. If we are indeed walking into a trap, I will learn all there is to know of our farm. A sound suggestion. Let us speak with these convictors, then, and temper our haste with a measure of caution. Alright, let's go. Hard-eyed lad looks promising, but you have a frail look about you, boy. I give you 3 days in the wild to claim your corpse. I beg your pardon. Be not so quick to judge. I have seen this frail youth fell heretics with a flick of his wrist. And who are you to question my... By the Fury! That armor, that lance, the Azure Dragoon himself graces our camp. Pray forgive my disrespect, sir. I am Jantalo, leader of the Convictors and fellow slayer of dragons. May I ask what winds, fair or foul, carry you into our humble camp? Ah, Lady Iceheart, is it? Aye, I know her by reputation, but I'm afraid I've seen naught of her or her people. That said, my own men can be somewhat lax when it comes to making reports. You may wish to question them yourselves. Thank you. We shall. Vakama, Estinian. Let us make our way through the camp and see what information there is to be had. Surely one of these people have encountered heretics while out hunting. Pray speak with as many as you can. Nay, I know of no heretics. Do you honestly expect me to keep track of every item of Varamon and Bertinat that wanders in and out of our camp? Are there any heretics in the area? I have not the faintest idea. Why, a heretic could pass under my very nose, and I should be none the wiser. I hunt dragons, my dear fellow. The big ones. Forever do I scan the skies for signs of my prey. I care not for the miserable creatures that scurry upon the ground. Looking for heretics, you say? Why don't you go and bother Piraket or someone? I have enough trouble keeping these preening fops fed and clothed as it is. No business of mine what folk do with themselves out here in the wilds. Something I could help you with, my lord? Heretics, is it? Well, I've never seen one myself. But that ain't to say I haven't heard a thing or two. We would be grateful for any information you can share with us. The gods know we've gleaned precious little from talking to the rest of these people. If it please, my lord, I am Parikat, a soldier by trade, though not much of one, if I'm honest. It wasn't for love of stabbing folk that I took up the spear, see? No, it was by the order of Sir Jantelo's father. Still, as long as they keep paying me wages, I ain't fussy as to what they have me do. Not everyone's as patient as me, though. Plenty of low-born lads who get pressed into service start grumbling before they've even seen their second battle. Purple flame. If we are to lure our foes to our position, we must find a means of producing a signal from a purple hue. As it so happened, I once heard the tale of a trapper who dropped the hide of a woolly yak in August campfire. Aside from the joke's stench, the story also described in detail the smoke, the smell of flames was tinged with the fragments. You're on these songs, you say we're playing off with our it should prove a trifling task which will cure our minds. It is a bird more than one heretics want to sacrifice. Master Arthur, you imagine the other wood for the fire. I am too, for both of us to find a dry flame in this frozen wasteland. Let us meet again at the Dreaming Dragon with the fruits of our labor. Fighting fire was a new experience for myself. His must have been a privileged upbringing. I'd be the hide.
Ah, I should have known it would be you. Word reached me of a struggle with a small but well-armed band of trespassers. Forgive my comrades their hostility. Few come here uninvited, and fewer still with good intent. Now, tell me why you are here. So, you seek to stem the Dravanian tide with talk? A romantic notion. If you but knew the truth, the spark which lit the flames of this animosity, you would understand the futility of your quest. Shall I relate it to you? The sordid history my gift has shown me, that which the Holy See has taken such pains to suppress. 'Twas more than a millennium past when an Elezen tribe first sought to claim the lands of Kurthas as its home. Unfortunately for them, Kurthas was already home to dragonkind, and they were not inclined to make way for the invaders. Thus did a bloody war begin, a war which might well have rumbled on until one or the other side was exterminated, had it not been for the resolve of a single woman. That woman's name was Shiva. While those around her fought and died, she attempted to parley with the dragons, and in so doing discovered them to be possessed of profound intelligence and reason. The great worm Hraesvelgar, in particular, so enchanted Shiva that she found herself growing to love the creature, whom her people considered a monster. In the eyes of a near-immortal dragon, however, the fleeting life of an Elezen is as that of a freshly cut rose. Scarce has the flower bloomed before it begins to fade and wither. Such melancholy musings plagued Hraesvelgar, who had found in Shiva an unexpected and beloved soulmate. He knew that all too soon, death would snatch her away from him. Unable to bear the thought of their separation, the maid bid the worm consume her, that their spirits might be entwined for eternity. Though loath to perform the deed, Hraesvelgar ultimately gave in to her plea, and soon thereafter the tale of their ill-fated love spread throughout the two warring factions. No more could they raise blade or claw against one another, knowing that the souls of their kin were so inextricably bound. In the days that followed, man and dragon learned to live in harmony, and together built a nation unlike any the world had ever known. For 200 years did this blissful age of peace continue, as it would to this day, had vilest envy not stirred in the hearts of the Elezen. It is said that worms owe their longevity to the boundless reserves of vitality found within their eyes. And 'twas in this belief that a traitorous band of knights deceived their allies of some 2 centuries, and took by force that which they coveted. Nidhogg, he who now stands poised to unleash his wormlings upon Ishgard, was the great dragon who lost an eye to Elezen treachery. And until he prizes it from the hands of the traitor's progeny, no amount of conciliatory words will stay his fury.
You are wrong, Lady Iceheart. Lest you misunderstand, I do not doubt your vision of the past. 'Tis true that Nidhogg greatly desired to reclaim the Eye. Indeed, it was for that very reason that I kept it with me as I roamed the land, attempting to draw him away from the city.
Good gods!
Until recently, Nidhogg seemed unable to resist its allure and pursued me relentlessly. Needless to say, that is no longer the case. Now, it would seem, he has fixed his attention on Ishgard itself, though he knows full well the Eye does not reside there.
You believe he targets the capital for another reason?
I believe reason has all but left him. Through the Eye, I feel much of what Nidhogg feels, and the dragon's thirst for vengeance will not be quenched by aught less than a sea of blood.
If Nidhogg is indeed lost to reason, might we not seek an audience with Hraesvelgr instead? He has thus far shown no inclination to aid in the invasion of Ishgard, and may yet welcome our efforts to broker a peace.
You still believe that a peaceable solution can be found? Very well. I will take you to him. Our road will lead us to Dravania, the homeland of dragonkind. There we shall ascend unto the clouds, where Hraesvelgr resides.
Is aught amiss, my friend? I sense the many battles are beginning to take their toll. Rest a while, and should you lose sight of us, Dravania lies beyond the mountains to the west.
Curious. The vestiges of thy mistress's blessing are not as faint as once they were. Thy will to succeed grants thee unusual fortitude. But will it be enough?
Passing strange, is it not, that fate should bring us together thus? Never did I think to walk alongside the warrior of light, but history is full of unexpected alliances. Shall we make our way into Dravania, then? The chill of the western highlands is unrelenting, and I would sooner be under the sheltering canopy of the tropical forest.
Beyond Abalathia's spine, the great mountain range that spans the continent of Aldenard from east to west. Into the deepening shadows of Som-Al, where lies the ancient home of dragonkind. To a land where the soil slithers and the skies seethe with sinuous shapes, they came.
Take us far to the west, beyond the embrace of the forest's branches. It will be a long and demanding journey. Might I suggest that we take our rest at the village up ahead and see that we are properly provisioned? There is a village here, but I thought this land was the sole domain of dragonkind. Why would anyone choose to live in so perilous a place? The wild chocobos. Tailfeather was built by hunters who made their living capturing and selling the beasts. Their leader, Master Chomp, is an acquaintance of mine. Being a gregarious sort, he will no doubt welcome our arrival, but he will also possess more recent knowledge of the road we seek to travel. I trust there are no objections. Only to this ceaseless chatter. Appear to be this acquaintance of yours. Let us do it before Ishgard burns. Tan my hide and call me a Leatherface. We have visitors. Oh, and if it ain't the lovely Ysayle. It's been too long, though. That it has, Master Chomp, that it has. My companions and I are on a pilgrimage to Som-Al. Might we stay in Tailfeather a while and prepare for the next leg of our journey? Of course, of course. Stay as long as you like. In fact, I wouldn't suggest leaving the forest at all. The dragons have been absolutely bleeding murderous of late. Forgive me, sir, but I'm not sure I understand. Do the dragons not bother you here in the forest? Bother us? Did Ysayle not explain things to you, boy? You've seen them towering Kylum trees about, haven't you? If you were flying above the canopy, you'd barely be able to see the ground. And as you'd expect, the local wildlife's canny enough to stay hidden beneath the leaves, which is why the dragons do their hunting elsewhere and we can do ours in peace. I see. Thank you for the explanation. You're welcome. Now, I know it won't stop Ysayle here, but dragons ain't the only things you'll need to keep an eye out for, especially if you're set on heading west. You'll find out what else may bar our path next time. Until then, I bid you be happy, be well, be healthy, and good day to you.